pretty level Nitro, you'd imagine, very ready to lock on in. And so we shall do so as well. It's Mirage to start. One that we just don't have a lot of data points on for M80. So we'll see if NRG's punish pick pays off, or if maybe this was a trap all along.
Might have been a trap all along. I mean, honestly, you never know. Like I said, it's Mirage, and it's super easy to just pug it out and have some secret scrims going on there that, you know,
I'd
the opposing team might not know.
Though,
yeah.
Right? Because the thing is, right, if you're M80 and you're vetoing Inferno, you know, without a doubt, that they're picking Mirage in this instance.
Yes.
And you're confident enough. I mean, Inferno hasn't been bad for M80.
I know.
It's not like they're trying to stay away from that map. They're saying, let's see the Mirage. Let's see it in live action. And you imagine part of this as well is trying to get those live reps ahead of the true objective for the season, which is the RMR.
No question. I mean, the RMR is going to be so very important for, I mean, M80 to try and find that spot in the major. It would be absolutely fantastic if they could. I feel like they're in the best spot possible to make it there. But yeah, I mean, it all starts here with Challenger League, right?
We've seen them be in pretty good spots before, right? And
yeah.
not get it over the line.
You're right.
This is
right.
their third go-around, I think? No, only the second go-around. Second go-around. They didn't have a major when they existed. So, second go-around at it. Get stickers the last time. Big fights here. Slack's eventually overwhelmed despite his damage onto Breeze. Bomb looking to be planted, but Lake looking to get some inroads. Those inroads will come with a heavy cost. Wreck gone. The numbers are whittling away here for M80. They want to go for the heavy ticket retake, and, well, they're finding the cost might be a little bit more than they expected. Nade does nothing. Gonna need to be some headshot. And that Palace player just continues to harass. The timing is perfect for Breeze's peaks. Down to 1 HP. They'll have to slow down. Damage coming in. Now on the 2-on-3. But they're running out of time. They do have this kit. They do have this kit, and that might be critical. Is it expected? There's the swing. There's the tap. The shot. There's the blow coming through from Breeze. He's done his job. This one is over one way or another. There's just no chance for that stick. And 1 HP or not, there will be no survivors. Breeze has done his task.
Wow, that was a really big bloodbath that happened there in the pistol round. Honestly, very tightly contested on both sides. You saw M80 trying to fight their way back into the site. Some good maneuvering to get the space and find some frags, but even better from NRG was the patience from Breeze and Palace, waiting for the right time to pop out and get that bomb diffuser. Nitro did a great job distracting by moving from jungle over to connector and just tucking himself away while Palace was exploited. So well done from NRG to take their first. As we go into the second round, M80 are going to buy up. It's going to be a force buy coming through. Lake, looking around there. 357s and MP9 and a scout, and you got 3 players for NRG leaning into Palace. One with the bomb, no ramp presence either. Actually, excuse me, I take that back. There is one player that'll be coming ramp, but they have to wait for him to get into position. The last one will be connector. Uh-oh, here it comes. Lake gets one.
I don't know if they know this ramp player's here. They don't know this ramp player's here. Now Rex revealed himself. Still, I mean, it's well revealed.
Yeah.
The kill, and that's the more damage. The bodies are starting to stack up here, and NRG are thinking, oh boy, we got bail. No, they're redoubling their after. It's not one to give up the gun, perhaps.
Oh.
And so Rec will actually pay the penalty, thinking that they were on the bailout. NRG double back, and in doing so, caused some problems. Still, Nitro and Hex both starting to get very vulnerable towards that scout. Scout hasn't made its move just yet. Expecting the lurk. But now Slacks is going to start to get drawn towards this A site. Sticking default. Oh, he spotted, but he's deleted. Nice. Well done from Automatic. Needed that one. Molotovs, they're not going to overlook another pistol. But there's no smoke for ticket. Oh, there's no smoke for ticket. This could be a problem. Swisher spotted. Well, that's a little easier. You don't have to peek him. You don't have to give him the fight. Ooh, trying his luck at the boxes. Not going to have it. Fortunate perhaps for Hex, who isn't exactly healthy. With the scout, yeah. Just too tough a fight to take. Automatic triumphs.
That was actually a lot more difficult than it seemed for NRG, right? Because they get caught a little off guard on the stack from M80, and Rec in particular towards ramp gets one and isolates the player at ramp, but decides not to force the issue too much, which gives NRG that time to regroup, slow the pace down immensely, which helps against those pistols, because you don't want to just charge out willy-nilly, because that's when you get into trouble. So they regroup themselves, clear out their corners very methodically, and find one piece of the defense at a time and ensure that those forced up pistols can't do any more damage. Extremely well done from NRG in what was kind of a tough situation. M80 now will just have the pistols. Full on eco, going to try and flash out towards mid. Could get automatic. Automatic in a bit of a tough spot. Misses his opening salvo of shots from the AK. And now he's going to peek around. He's got support though. It's okay. Everything's fine. 3-0.
Yeah, they keep it clean. It was never a risk of the round getting out of hand. It was more for if a gun could be scraped away somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, nothing doing in that one. That one's a lot smoother sailing for NRG. Now they can build a little bit of bank into this first gun round. Some Galil's lingering, but it's rifles out for M80, and now we start to see what their plan is for this Mirage.
Should be interesting. M80 got the guns out. Slack's got the big green, and Slack's going to post up mid window as expected. There is a smoke there, so he's going to have to throw the Molotov and fade away a little bit to gain some visibility. And NRG are really slowing it down here. I say that, but here comes the XU towards the A side. It could be a fake, in fact. They're just trying to make some noise, throw more util. If they get a frag, that would probably be beneficial. Maybe they'll send it afterwards, but as it stands, just the util out and a bit of poking and prodding here from NRG. Trying to sell a fake and then just charge into A after M80 rotates off? Oh my goodness, that might be what's happening here. M80 are completely abandoning the A site, and NRG are pushing in after patiently waiting there for the last 20 seconds.
Yeah, they're fully committing to this mid setup, right? 3 players here. The op's going to be on the line, but Flax needs to get something, and he's not going to do so. And now Lake picked off in towards mid means they still have to worry about this lurk. Rex in such a tough spot here, trying to get some vision. He will get the kill. That's perhaps a bit fortuitous. Gonna keep them in this round. Gonna keep them competitive. Swisher now follows up one. The trade? No, not there. What a transfer from Hex. What a flashbang from Breeze. Now the number's getting punched in. Sin knows this little player here. Ready on the swing. Not gonna have it. And at that point, Slack just needs to save. He knows it. So NRG passed the test of the first gun round, thanks in large part to Hex's entry work there on the stairs.
Some great calling from Nitro. Huge credit to him, honestly. Like, just selling that fake, I guess you could say, towards the A site, throwing all the util, convincing M80 that, yep, that was just them trying to distract us, and then, whoops, pull the rug out from under them, go to the A site, get the plant, and wipe out all of the attempted retakes of the site. Automatic finds the last player. Oh, finds the last player and can't kill him. And Slacks gets 2. I mean, look, it's not that big of a deal for the economy for NRG. They got plenty of money, but hey, at least he got some value out of it.
You would like to hold the value in his hands.
For sure.
Round.
Yeah.
That's a price that NRG are willing to pay, but it does make this next round maybe a little more interesting. Lake's investing a bit of a chunk into this. Where do we go with this? Scout out for Swisher. Okay. Armor sold. They're trying to keep it relatively healthy. Loss bonus is maxed at this point. Where is that scout? In the apps. We haven't seen any real play towards B just yet. Not even really the lurk, right? We had the lurk in mid last round from Automatic, which is where he's starting out this time. But you could tell M80 are wary. At some point, that apartment's lurk's going to come in, and it just hasn't happened yet. Hex could be in a bit of a tough spot. He seems to be wary of the potential for that peek out from Swisher, though, as the tag on his body will indicate. But again, they're going to probe.
Yeah. I was going to say, the 3 M80 players are stacked up here near Palace, and one on default, but, I mean, you could easily swing to support the teammates that are waiting for a push coming out from that Palace position. Thing is, NRG are deviating off A completely, at least for the time being. 3 players going into top mid, 1 into underpass. Oh yeah, this This is a play for mid control coming through from NRG.
Yeah.
And then they're going to push for A.
Here's where the indication comes in. There was a smoke held by Rec for a while here, but he did deploy it. A Molotov came out from Palace. They went in for the clear on that, so now they're thinking that this is clear. But they're misreading it, actually. Utility's coming out of Con. And Lake just doesn't have the gun for this range of engagement, right? So he can't really go for the swing. He's going to do it. And actually catches the ball. He gets two. He gets two. A third. Lake, where's this coming from? And oh my goodness, 4 players survive. It's a shopping spree for M80. 4 guns salvaged out of that round. The time got late for NRG. They were trying to find the path of least resistance, but they tripped and fell in a lake.
Quite literally and figuratively, and whatever way you want to slice it, Lake did an incredible job there. Comes around the corner with the MP9 and just demolishes them. They were kind of lined up for him, but still, you need that spray control, and he was on point. Then hits the mid-range shot towards stairs perfectly. That could not have been better for M80, and it couldn't come at a better time because that was just a half-buy investment, meaning their economy gets stabilized. They upgrade guns, 3 AKs picked up off the ground. This is fantastic news for them, and a turnaround potentially on the cards. Yeah, we got to see that again. That was unreal. Perfect aim, perfect spray control. That's the Lake that M80 needs to see.
Yeah, I mean, it's really one of those situations where you're like, man, he probably doesn't want an MP9. Okay, no, he wants the MP9. Yeah, no, he's cool with that. Nothing more fun than just immediately being proven wrong. Why my MP9 do that, John?
Yeah, I ask the same question all the time, Mike.
Little smoke popper there just to check and make sure there weren't players behind it. NRG were hesitating, anticipating that play to come through. Nice, provide the carpet. That was an ambitious shot to take. There's some information given over and a nade traded back in kind. This hit's coming in. That's going to accelerate them. Breed it. The opening kill. No killing towards window. The A defense is gone. It's a save for M80.
What on earth? That is wow. What a response from NRG, right? Like, not even shying away from the fight. They said, okay, we took too long previously. Let's just send it into A and win the fights cleanly. Unreal. And forcing M80 onto a save. M80 still got money, still be able to buy because of how effective that previous round was. But to isolate that round victory so quickly is great for NRG.
I think what M80 need to do here, because right now this A defense is folding very easily, right?
It is.
It was that quick kill from Breeze. That's just a look out of Palace. That's just a spot of the headshot, and then it just like a house of cards. It all comes down. They need to simplify it somehow for themselves, and I think the only way to realistically do that is to get a little bit of aggression going, so that you have some more of the answers, that you're not guessing as to what NRG are doing. Because right now, what NRG are working in towards mid is really keeping M80 unsure of what's coming their way. So what you could see to compensate for that is you could see aggression in towards ramp. You could see aggression in towards Palace. You could see aggression top mid. That's a little bit more of an all or nothing gambit most often. But I think that's maybe what's missing for M80. They need to shrink this map a little bit. Yeah. They've had their best success when they've gotten some vision in the apps, when they maybe gotten some presence in the Palace.
No, I do agree with you, Mike. Especially in CS2, I think mid control feels like ancient now. Mirage, you can go for that quick push, and it's not necessarily as risky as it used to be. And you see it right here. Look, just throw a smoke, charge up, you get one frag, a trade comes through. OC does manage to get the second one though. Lake, I think, just got stuck in a tough spot. Maybe he wanted to fall back, but he couldn't. But still, at least they're trying to do something different.
Was trying to catch OC maybe on that reposition. It was the bomb as well, right? So he knows if he gets that kill, drop top mid. It's a bit of a death blow.
Good angle for
Slash. Good read on where they're coming from. Oh, a little wide, but the angle is automatic, so the numbers evened up. But Breeze has meanwhile taken advantage to slip out of the Palace. Oh, that was a fadeaway shot. I don't even think he knew it.
I don't think so either.
Fortune smiling on Breeze, and it has been doing so far today. Bomb gonna be planted. Sin likely not even gonna think about this one.
This is incredible. Breeze is It was ridiculous. Like, and a one tap too. Like, something that I actually appreciate from Counter-Strike 2 is when you get those headshots when the game works the way it's supposed to, it feels so satisfying to hit those one taps. And I feel like Breeze, even though he might not have realized that it happened, was probably pretty happy with the way that one worked out. And yeah, he's been lights out incredible throughout the entire season. I already talked about this yesterday, but I mean, if he's hitting shots like that and continuing to entry for NRG in this fashion, M80 are going to have their hands full if they don't have an answer to that. And you already saw Hex getting a nice little spray transfer before, so I mean, all the pieces feel like they're fitting together for NRG again tonight.
Yeah, and the Breeze lurk is reminiscent of what he was doing last night in Apps, right?
Yes. Yep.
Just very good feel for the timing of where he can take his windows, where he can take his fights, where he can take his space, knowing that they were focused in on that mid fight, taking advantage of that to get out towards the default boxes. And then as they try and come back into the A defense, it's like, well, no, too late. You already gave it up. You already lost. You just don't know it yet. And Breeze will reveal it to you. Vintage Breeze. A cool Breeze, perhaps. Seasons are changing. It's time for lots of cool Breezes, John.
It is. Getting a little too cold for my taste. But
Well,
I have to
then you
accept it.
shouldn't live in Canada.
I do like winter though. It's like it's a double-edged sword for me because I love winter, I love snow, but I don't like cold. So it's like I have
tough
to
to
accept the good with the
reconcile.
bad. Yeah.
Warm snow, not very available.
No, it's not. Unfortunately. I mean, if it's fake snow, I suppose, but no one likes that.
No one likes that. No one likes that. And 80 don't really like how this has been going, but they will like that.
nice name.
They don't know they like it. Unconfirmed damage, but damage nonetheless. Ooh, Sin goes for a little peeky poo. I don't think he spotted anything.
No, it was a good flashbang thrown, and Hex had to fall back, so it definitely wasn't spotted.
So they're going to go back into this mid control. It's Swisher and Lake to try and deal with it. So they had some aggression, a tiny little bit of it into Apps, but once again, M80 do not have a lot of information. They've got no mid presence, they got no ramp presence, they got no palace presence, no information in towards Apps. Catwalk is Con are their most forward positions, and they do have a nice crossfire here, but now they're trying to get some information. Rex going in, seeing that no one's in towards ramp. That's a little bit more confidence that this is, in fact, coming towards mid. Oh, nade pop is good, but that does drop the bomb. So Swisher now just trying to buy time, trying to stall them out. Breeze a little further forward, but the Apps player has gone down, has been dropped. Still Breeze trying to open up the road. Rack will slam it shut behind them. That bomb now down and dropped. Wreck, he may be found, but Automatic's going to see if he can't take it further. Doesn't want to let the one target slip off of his screen. Automatic, you have 20 seconds to try and make some magic happen. I think he's basically going to be betting that there's not a B player, and well, there's an ult from Slacks.
That's just, honestly, Wreck doing the work that he had to, because Breeze, again, got a great frag towards the B site, and, I mean, traded out Swisher effectively. The thing is, and, well, we're going to see the last frag, but it was Nitro on Cat that he was relying on to stay alive and deal with anyone that might come from mid, and unfortunately, as Nitro goes down, it's kind of an easy lineup and flick around for Wreck to get the second one onto Breeze. So, well done from M80. Finally get a stop. They need it to be a couple in a row, some kind of momentum built up, and it would be quite impactful here because NRG's money isn't that great because a lot of these rounds have been pretty scrappy. 1:39 on the clock, here we go. Hex already into the underpass, trying to have a peek and see who's up there, and Wreck actually charged down and gained that control into A ramp. So M80 getting a little more active here on this A site. And this setup might pay off for them as NRG are coming right back in towards that ramp position, and you have Wreck and Lake playing off each other.
This does just require that Wreck hits his shot, though.
Yeah.
It's really about that. Wreck on Hexed. Is there going to be a flashbang for it? Seems like no recovery position, but he spots the ankle. Doesn't get the second. Lake snaps around, though. So the trade is there. That's a bomb confirmed as well. Teammates trying to get into support. Nice position from Lake, anticipating that the Palace prong would be the next approach. Leads to OC right into the AWP, and automatic coming out of Con. He was meant to be the X factor at the end. Instead, he's the only factor as M80 try and claw this lead back.
Very nice, honestly. Another great round coming through from M80. They finally get 2 in a row, and there's that momentum I was talking about because NRG can't buy now. So it's a chance for M80 to cut into the lead even more, bring it down to only 2, and maybe entertain the possibility of going into the next half with a tied scoreline. That's the ideal circumstance for them. And I did really like that setup, as I was mentioning, from a Lake and Rec towards that A ramp, because they could play off each other and get those trades. They ended up getting the advantage just off of that situation, and after that held their ground to deny NRG any further space up. This time they're taking a different approach. It's more of the passive one. 4 players in towards A ramp. The nade, pretty impactful, nice and chonky. Rec's going to get 1. Breezy immediate trade. There is the hero AK in play, but he's down to 2 HP, and now Slacks has taken down another piece.
That's about getting out cleanly. Well, okay, no, it still might be about this round. Very much so. Don't want to afford the bomb plant over if you can help it. But NRG, they've got plenty of time on this clock, and they're going to reroute. They've got a little bit of a surprise waiting at Firebox. Not a very healthy one, but a surprise nonetheless. And they are routing towards an empty B-bomb site.
Given his health, this is actually an incredibly good play because you get the opportunity to get in on a flank, and then it won't matter that you only have 2 HP. You just have to hit shots on players that don't know you're there.
M80 are realizing they're rumbled. Trying to get in position for this one, but not finding anything.
Oh my goodness.
Oh, the spacing is huge. Oh, an assassination there. The trade should be instant. The trade should be instant, but Breeze has been allowed to reposition.
What?
Yeah, okay. They just needed 1 bullet, but they're going to realize, oh no, wrong site. Bomb is down. There's not armor on these 2 players, but they have so much time to get into cheeky positions. Flashbang set up OC. Waiting for this contact from Rec. Waiting for some sort of an audio cue to give it up. Automatic. No, you had the right idea. Get that flashback out. Oh, doesn't need it.
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't need it at all. Sin now in a really bad spot. Who cares if they have armor? They're sitting on the bomb. He's just trying to find a tap.
Oh, we might get this.
Go for the stick. Oh! Automatic just found him. Has traced the lineup, and NRG with pistols, John. With pistols.
Well, the AK, let's not forget that. They had the hero AK, so that helped a lot. I mean, Breeze got 3. He got the first one, I'm like, okay, he's down to very low HP. He probably won't get another one. He gets the next one, and then, as I was talking about during the round, waiting at Firebox was the best play for him because he could do exactly what he did. He sneaks in on the back lines and gets a freebie for the first and distracts the team enough, distracts M80 enough to allow for the rest of his team to get to that B site and plant the bomb. Yes, he falls, but I mean, he sets them up for victory so very well, and that's why you go for the hero AK. I mean, especially with Breeze playing as well as he is, it's the right player to have that gun, the right player to have the AK in his hands. That is not great for M80, but at least they have a buy up here, Mike.
They do indeed. This one, though, matters a whole lot. You drop this one. Suddenly, you got nothing for the last. And you're staring down the possibility of a 9-3 half. So it's getting cheeky. A little bit of space taken here in apps. This is that map shrinkage we're talking about. Hex close at hand, but as long as he's patient here, this allows his teammates to be a little bolder in their A control.
I'm not sure if this smoke is actually intended for an execute or not, and NRG are going to get 1 thrown for window and 1 for connector, and yeah, see, there it is. Hex goes towards B instead. He's lurking, of course, but he could call for his teammates to join him because there's no one at the B site at all, and they're very much in a position to fall back here, Mike.
Surely they bail. Surely they bail. OC's still giving it a look. This could be a problem. He has the bomb. Oh, no, that's the bomb. Doesn't matter what Hex has on B. They got to deal with this little nucleus here in the A control. And Slacks is trying to anticipate where that next bomb's going to come from. This Palace player This Palace player. Oh, coming out the smoke. He gets caught. Now he can be confident. Now they just have to worry about the con approach. Slacks. Back down behind the box, but Molotov, it's all about the stall here, and Rek knows it. 15 seconds. He's got another molly.
He's got it.
He's won it. They can't do anything
They're
about
just
it.
gonna jump.
Molotov
He's gonna
goes
jump.
down. They have to swing through. There's the tag. They can't get on. Rek gun out. You can't get this bomb plant. Nitro has to swing, and Rek will win it by the skin of their teeth, by the slimmest of margins. But that is all that matters, is another one in the win column for M80.
Man, I know what NRG we're trying to do, and I appreciate it, right? They're hoping that Hex presence on the B site will be enough to rotate M80 off, and maybe they can catch a player charging down that ramp in rotation. It's just that because of how isolated the bomb is in OC's hands, it's just too risky. You have so much space towards B. You weren't even committed to A. The better call would have been to go to B, and they might be regretting that as we move forward here in this map. We'll see. Final round here of the first half. Swisher is going to be hiding behind the smoke. Actually, this is a pretty good spot. I think he might have been heard. Nope, not at all. Automatic's going to walk right past him. Swisher has that information. Freebie for him. 5v4 in favor of M80. And now the charge in towards the B site. Sin spamming away. Manages to get one. Fades off into the site. He's going to need help soon, though. Mike is Sin. Peering around. He will eventually... No, he doesn't get overloaded. He gets the frag on X. He's still alive. He is dancing around in this bomb site. And finally, it will end. Lake gets the last two. And it's 7-5 in favor of NRG as we head to the break.
Back in for the second half here. Oh, we are right off to the races. Little utility out of the old Spawnero.
Oh,
It's a decoy.
what?
It's a decoy. They're a decoy.
I thought it was a smoke.
All right. Okay. Automatic. Gonna find that those pistols are very real. Heck, very much learning that lesson.
Wow.
Oh my goodness. This explode in towards mid. That's brilliant results. Wreck apparently getting a taste of Lake's gun there, but it all falls to Nitro. No armor. And no control. He knows he has to eliminate the threat at his back before he can even think about the retake at his front. But he will be unable to do so. Nice pistol round there from M80. Clean as can be.
Yeah, very nicely done. I mean, the decoy was interesting. I guess the sound can disturb you a little bit, especially on pistol, but obviously, you know, NRG just got overloaded by M80 charging in from underpass and dealing with two players at once, pretty much, one into window and one in connector, and after that, there was just nothing NRG could do to really challenge. Breeze was tanking Glock bullets at one point, so I'm like, maybe he's going to get something, but no, he eventually falls too, and M80 will immediately get into rifles, 2 AKs and 3 Galils, so no MAC-10s here, which I mean means that the money can't be built up as much. I guess that's not that critical on T side, but only USPs from NRG. They don't choose to force up, so this shouldn't be too much of a problem. A stack is on. As long as M80 don't go there, they'll be fine. If they do go there, well, anything can happen. No.
You're thinking about it. You're thinking about it.
No, it feels
Doing
like
due diligence. All right, now that bomb rerouting. So it seems like for the moment they're going to pick correctly in this shell game we call Counter-Strike. And indeed, they have found the right site. They have found the empty site. They have done a nice little dry run take a B. Bomb is down, and the question becomes, how does NRG want to try and position themselves to find any damage in this round? Flashbang over mid.
Yeah.
No one to receive it. Slag's thinking, is it worth it? No. No, in fact, it is not.
Hex could catch Swisher off guard. Nope. Misses the shot, and Swisher takes care of it afterwards. Even though it goes down to 34, it's a nice shot from Hex to get the dink, but not enough for a frag. I guess NRG is going to try and chase. They have absolutely nothing to lose here, so a frag would be something. Maybe an upgrade available to them, but nothing's going to happen. It will be M80 with all 5 surviving, and NRG just giving up on the chase eventually, too. All tied up, Mike, at 7, which is great for M80, considering the way this one started. It was 5-1 at one point. Since that moment, it's a 6-2 run for M80.
The math checks out. But now it's NRG's turn with guns in hand. They won't have the op, and it won't be perfect. They're missing a kit. Utility's not ideal. So it's not everything you can want out of life. Sometimes that's just the way things are. M80 looking to steam into the lead. Having kept everybody alive in the last, they've got lots of Galils. And also money to fall back on, should it be required.
I think one thing that's always, well, at least throughout their latest run for M80 that's impressed me is their ability to be resilient, not get down on themselves when the scoreline is very one-sided, and recover like they have, and then they look really, really strong. Yes, they lose Swisher here, but it feels like momentum has shifted in their favor, and as I say that, I don't know, I guess I'm casting first number something. Automatic and OC are taking care of business. This is sort of a bonus round for M80. The AKs aren't fully out, and, well, almost completely clean for NRG, but they lose one before OC finishes the job. 8-7, M80 will not be able to get the lead yet, but it's potentially coming. We'll see. They're going to call a timeout, and it's their last one.
Def never someone who's shy about getting in their ears. doing it early, but yeah, it is interesting to see that final timeout deployed here and now. Make this decision about the buy. The conservative choice here would be to half buy, go for the techies, but they're not going to make that choice. They're going in on the rifle. They're feeling strong enough. They're feeling like they can get done. It's essentially going to be the buy they had in the last with a little less utility.
You do have the AKs out though now, Mike.
3 of them instead of
Yes.
2 of them. Will that third AK tip the
Yes.
scales?
I'm going to say yes.
That third AK gets all the headshots. Here. Oh, here we were going to go. We do, in a manner of speaking. Swisher trying to find the space, but he's got to be wary of the catwalk player.
Is Rec close by? They need that Molotov right now. They're not going to get it.
No. Have to be very conservative with their utility. Nitro putting down a smoke. That'll slow things down here on the B site, but it's still very early days. We're just 35 seconds into the round, so whittling out CT utility is pretty good as far as M80 is concerned. What they have to be wary about with the setup they deployed is ramp progression. So someone checked for it. Haven't seen it yet. Indeed, there is none coming through from NRG because they've got a heavy mid lean. 2 players on catwalk. One in the window. And it is very much going to be about this catwalk setup.
Smoke thrown for connector. And yeah, M80 are playing for B. And you're right. It's Nitro and Hex who could deliver all the killing blows here. Hex on top of the boxes gets 1 and then falls off, not traded. And Nitro will be,
Oy.
but Automatic gets 2 on Sin and Lake from the other side. And that could be the killing blow of the round.
That's where you miss the utility. That's where you miss the utility. OC, meanwhile, has just been lying in wait. They didn't have a smoke for Con, and that cost them.
Unreal. So well
Actually,
done
I think they
from
did have a
Energy.
smoke down. I'm not sure
They
exactly what
did have a
happened
smoke
there.
for Con. I think Automatic either from maybe pushed out of Con a little bit beyond the smoke. It was a deep Con smoke. So there was space for Automatic to peer out from that position. I believe that's what happened and why 2 players fell in that situation, Mike.
Either way, you'll take it. You will take it if you're NRG, because now you've got an M80 team that has seen their momentum halted. She's got Glocks coming through. Got to take their medicine here. As the pistol round success has dried up.
I mean, they're being pushed off of mid right now, and they realize it, so they just fall off and go back in towards those B apartments. And yeah, I think they're just going to send it at this point.
Yeah, good old Mary Deathball.
Oh,
Flying
maybe
out
not.
here into
Okay.
Molly. I mean, look, if you make a bunch of footsteps, you drag out all the utility. At least you cost something in this round. Seems to be some of the philosophy they're going for right now.
I mean, I guess it makes sense, right? Because you make it more expensive for them one way or another. Even if you die, they have to reinvest into you.
Hang on. Isolated gun. No support.
Oh.
Automatic, what you got for us? He's going to run out of bullets at some point, but he's going to take 3 of them with him. And Hex will be close at hand. So, worth it. They eventually go up the works. They charge them the price of 1 casualty. But NRG going to be okay with that cost, I'd imagine.
Yeah, no problem at all. Nice patient play coming through and good map control gained while M80 were dancing around the map in the apartments. And that allowed Automatic to strike true for 3, even though it could have gotten scary for him. You're absolutely right in that position. If he doesn't peek out when he does, maybe he gets blindsided or knifed or something. He goes down for free. But luckily for him, he does, in fact, peak. 10-7, NRG. They're going to hit double digits, but here come the rifles once more for M80. Their most potent buy-up so far in this half. OC and Hex over around mid. OC at window, and this is, yeah, that nade is crazy.
That's a nice nade. Automatic, he's been really good this map. Last round, obviously, ecos, but still. He's had a strong one. Kills onto the catwalk, perhaps saved their round. Changed the course of this game. This time he slips away before contact comes in. Actually, that smoke might be a little deep. He punished for it. Suffers on that one. Smoke into jungle, and Hex peeking ahead of it. The barrel of a gun. This is getting very dangerous very quickly, and just one by one, the defenders from NRG are fading away. There's a lurk. There's a flank. And OC taking a kill early might keep their focus away from Nitro. It's a player standing out in the open. Nitro should have a freebie here. He is indeed going to get that freebie suddenly into the 2v2 without health in favor of M80. No more utility. They just got to do it with the guns. It's all about the timing on these pop-up shots. Nice one from Swisher. Has to clutch it up. Needs the headshot. He can't do it. Man. Not against Captain America himself. The shield will fly, and the 11th round will follow.
Oh, man, when you need a round, Nitro is there to deliver a 3K for his squad. And I mean, it all starts with OC, though, because that was a 2v4, and OC gets the first one with the op towards a ramp. And after that, Nitro is able to strike much more cleanly and get that pincer attack going quite effectively. So great work from NRG after what was a very rough start in terms of that defense of the A site. I'm surprised they even won the round, and M80 now have an even taller hill to climb. 4-round deficit. They're going to go for the Tech 9 half-buy, and actually Galil will be afforded by Lake, so don't count M80 out just yet. They might go for a nice quick play here towards that B site with those techs.
Jump around. Next, overwhelmed after just one. They're trying to follow it up. Nitro eventually taken down. Even trades here. Bomb looking to be planted, and guns being salvaged off the floor. Like, we'll get those numbers punched in. Extra rifle picked up here for Slacks. This one is dangerous. The op is just begging for someone to try and cross the bench, but they know it's too late. You know they've missed the window for that. A flashbang could set up a peek. No one's exposed yet. No contact taken. Time started to become an issue. Kit's certainly available. Gotta go. The Tech 9 connects, but Swisher knows he has to find one of these kills in isolation, and OC is ready for the swing. Map point is found for NRG despite the best efforts of M80.
I mean, that was just another great retake again from NRG. Yep. You're right. I mean, the efforts are great. The takes of the sites are fantastic. It's just NRG are a little bit sharper. And in that situation, a lot more util to work with, right? They could isolate the angles well with the Molotovs and the smokes available to them, and the flashbangs. Everything was there. And I mean, just some great shots hit as well. Automatic getting one before he's traded, and Swisher kind of left by his lonesome because of how well NRG were clearing out the site on the other end. So, 12-7 for NRG. They got 5 opportunities to close this one out, but that was the half-buy from M80. Here come the guns. AKs and an op. Automatic's pushing up aggressively. He wants to try and end this quickly, maybe, but backs off after that nade is thrown, realizing that M80 are expecting the aggression. So he's going to hide behind this smoke. Might not be a bad idea. Oh, perhaps it is. Sin spamming it. Automatic goes for the fight and loses it. Sin survives. It's actually Lake from top mid to deal the killing blow.
He got honeypotted. Heard that player backing up and reloading and thought, free kill. Didn't anticipate Lake being there for the punish. Or even anticipate it. Lake gone. Nades will chase. So he laid down his life to keep Sin thriving. See if his in-game leader can reward him for that.
Time kind of becoming a factor here in the map control.
Breeze. He flicked right past him, John.
Wow.
He flicked right past him. Someone check him resolution. Does Breeze play on black bars? Because that would make that a whole lot easier to do.
A lot of players like 4x3, Mike. Get more frames. Not great for visibility. Now only 23 seconds left, but M80 are going to charge in. Oh, big miss from OC.
Big miss indeed. That might just net them this round. Hold on, Nitro. Could use a little extra fuel here. They don't know. They don't know. No. One, can't get a second. One, not enough here. Not after the bomb's been planted and hacked. You'd imagine it just going to have to back away onto the save. There's still a lot more rounds to play here. M80, gonna make sure of that fact.
M80 are a hard customer to put down. They're showing why here. 8th round secured on their part. It felt like at the beginning when that trade comes through, the NRG still have the edge, but Breeze, I mean, he had the right idea of going up there, but he flicks past the target, and then, well, he's immediately dealt with afterwards. So, M80, 4 more rounds in a row required to secure overtime, but NRG, will they buy here? I think they will. I think Breeze can drop a couple of A1Ss, and I'm not sure if they're going to call a timeout to talk this one over, but yeah, here it is. The buy-ups coming through. 4 A1Ss, the AWP. Everyone's got pretty much everything they could possibly want except for 3 pieces of utility. But NRG will not be complaining too much. They have set themselves up for another strong opportunity at series point. That is incorrect. It is map point here.
OC gets himself an opener. That could be the closer of this map. Gonna fight in towards mid. With that Molotov down, those mid boxes are not going to be easy to control. Lake will stick around. Playing in much the same way Automatic was in the first half, but there's a whole lot of focus headed his direction right now. Bomb left in spawn. Seems M80 is going to play a little bit of a campaign of contain. Makes me think Sin's throwing of a fake here. Is indeed. Lake's in trouble. There's another HE. There's another HE. Oh! And there they go. Took a whole lot of utility to dig him out, but dig him out they have. But it has created space on A. Oh, they overlooked. They've overlooked. They didn't check Breeze. They didn't check Breeze. They thought they did. But now he's got Wreck painted into a corner and teammates close at hand, and this one is looking done. Sin, you got some magic for us? Would have to be so. Would have to be truly incredible. He'll make the approach. He's slowing down. He's found the first. Spotted on. But a whole lot more targets to find. As soon as one takes contact, the rest will swing. 25 seconds. He can't back away, and they know. Time is undefeated. There's that contact. Here's that swing, but Hexed will need no other teammate. 13-8 the scoreline. NRG strong here on Mirage.
Yeah, incredible stuff. I mean, they were challenged. They faced a lot of adversity against M80. M80 winning an eco here and there, but then NRG pulling an eco back in their favor. It really was back and forth in that regard. But at the end of the day, it's just that aggression, that timely movement on both CT and...
Either way, it is a strong map for both teams. It's not going to be a pushover for NRG by any measure. But M80 is a level of competition they don't necessarily face on this map very often. And this is a map where you tend to see the stars of M80 get real comfortable. Wreck is a phenomenal A anchor. You've got a lot that you can expect from the mid setups, from what Lake can do in towards caves. Slacks has had some serious pop-off rounds on this map. So keep an eye. Once the up comes out, it all starts here on CT for M80.
Absolutely. And Lake going to be watching here from E-Box towards Canal. NRG taking their time, really slowing it up here. And Lake's going to try and capitalize off of that. I think they're waiting for this and hoping, in fact, that aggression comes through. So Lake potentially walking right into their hands. 3 crosshairs lasered in, focused on this position. And Lake says, oh, yeah, okay, maybe I shouldn't go out there. And he backs off in towards that B site.
We're going to get the mid approach. He's just Sin holding passive. He's not got armor either, so keep an eye on that. They do kind of want to lure them into this A take. It's a heavy setup, and that smoke in towards Temple really kind of tips the hand here for NRG. So it is indeed what M80 were expecting. They've got the reinforced sight, and they've got Sin collecting headshots. Beautiful work here from the captain. He's done so much damage. He needs his teammates to follow it up, but that's exactly what Wreck is going to deliver. Holding on from the fountain, allowing Swisher the time to get in on the flank. That is exactly the round that M80 were hoping was coming their way.
Yeah, that's what they drew it up, right? I mean, they had the players in the right positions, holding the line, didn't get aggressive against NRG, waited for them to walk into the spider's web, and then they sank their fangs in as soon as the opportunity arose. Sin in particular, with 2 very nice headshots, crisp and clean, and the rest of his team follows up marvelously to surround the remaining NRG players. So M80 picking up pistol, not a bad start. You need as many CT rounds as you can get here on Anubis because it gets extremely challenging to find them, especially when those rifles come out. So getting pistols is going to be pretty critical for them, and no bomb plant yielded either means NRG will only be walking into this round with Glocks and a P250. Going to the right site, though, the lighter one at least, as only Rek is here anchoring it down. Oh, Slacks catches a player off, and I think that'll mean that the jig is up, and they'll know that that's where they're coming towards, and Rek actually not getting a clean frag at all.
Bomb plant. That's everything they wanted out of this round. Now it's about damage. So, M80 have erred in this one. It won't cost them in terms of money. But it does mean some extra cash in the pockets of NRG as we head to this first rifle round. You know, maybe get a kill first in the map like before we spam bodies.
Yeah.
This kid, I mean, he's
yeah,
he's quite a joy to talk to
this.
at Lance because he is just unabashedly cuppy.
Yeah,
in a way that it doesn't matter who the opponent is. It doesn't matter the expectations. He could be up in the server against Zaibu, and he's going to be talking the same trash. It is very consistent.
Honestly, it feels a little bit like the local lands, like the Fragadelphia spice that's coming through, honestly, from Blake. And I feel like in some cases it could be problematic for his team. It's something that Mobs didn't exhibit at all. Mobs a very calm player for the most part, maybe sometimes trash talking, but that's rare.
He got a water bottle splashed on him.
He did.
One for
that
nothing.
Was... I suppose, Mike. But I don't even think it's arguable. I think it's a fact that Lake is much more of a vocal player in terms of trash talking than Mobs was.
It's actually one of those things where a Hex on the other side is kind of a nice comparison. You know, it might be some of seeing yourself in that. You know, it's sort of how he captured the imaginations of the Counter-Strike scene in his first move up to that EG squad.
Mm-hmm.
Saying some very straightforward trash talk and then some very out there trash talk as well. What was the...
Yes.
I am the... Oh, he had some wild line. Let's see if I can find it. I can't even remember. Anyway, there were some, you know, maybe more avant-garde speeches given. I think Lake more keeps it to the basics. You suck. What were you thinking?
Exactly.
Look at me, Ricky. You know, already some classics out there.
I think it's also about, like, I don't have a problem with the trash talk coming through, but it's also about timing it right, and I think it's just happening very often for Lake right now. Anyway, we'll talk about this more later. Sin's going to get a 3K onto Hex Breeze and Automatic. He does finally fall to the Molotov and Nitro. Okay, hold on a second. Indeed, it's a 2v2. Could get this bomb planted.
Heroics from Nitro. He's delivered. Time and again here. Pack the cake. You gotta contend, and he's going to take after. Playing ahead of that flashbang. Nicely done from Nitro. OC able to follow with the last, but it's all the focus on Nitro that delivers it. 3 huge kills as the captain puts him on his back.
Wow. That's beautiful from Nitro because it felt like everything was leaning in the direction of M80 in that round, and Nitro just comes through and says, hold on a second, I've got something to say about this. 2 frags, bomb planted, gets back into cover while he's reloaded, throws a flash out for himself, and then before it even pops, he's around that corner going for the frag. So well played from him. And NRG are probably pretty thankful that he is leading their squad right now with the way he has this type of impact. Slacks, nice boost up to get Breeze, though, over the top of that smoke. That's a great catch for M80 in a round where they don't have the best of buy-ups aside from the Omni M4.
That's why you put the big gun in his hands, right? That's what he can deliver. Yeah. Flashbang in. Rek to be able to stay out of the crosshair of Hex, at least for the moment. Really more of a feint at this point in time. Hex trying to draw focus, and he's done a good job of doing so, but it's a 2-1-2, so there's no heavy lean either direction for M80. That op set up in towards mid. That's the shift up. Oh, and there's the spot. Heavy beaming presence. Smoke up. Stalls this. Nicely done on that. And NRG don't want to stick around, so they're going to head back in towards mid. Or will they? 40 seconds. Time is starting to get short. It does look like this wants to finish B, certainly. There's no more stall-out utility, or really any utility to speak of for M80, so they've chosen their moment.
Oh, wow.
But that moment is going to find Slacks' AWP. Without this B control, Lake survives. That's so critical. And at that point, NRG, they've just got no interest. They're going to save with these 2 rifles.
Wow, Lake's lucky to be alive. That spray just got away from NRG, and there you go. I mean, 2 players on life support, Lake and Swisher, towards that B site. One wrong move, and NRG would have had the path forward, but they managed to deliver that important frag. And Slacks, I mean, the first one was great, and the second one, he found that player going in towards mid, which could have put a lot more pressure on the B players as well. He just doesn't allow it. So great positioning with the op. They isolate the round victory NRG found, but NRG are able to walk out of that with a couple of rifles. I would imagine a force buy will come through here because the money's a little weird. And yeah, that's at least going to happen. No. Oh, Breeze takes it back, refunds everything. They say, okay, no, it's actually pretty okay for us. Only OC is low, so they're going to go for only the saved guns, and the rest will be pistols.
We did see some heroic moments. 1K. Bit of pistol magic, and OC's going to get started early here. It's an extra gun built on. They just want a death ball in now. Big pressure on for M80. This is get very tough indeed. MP9 only finds the one. Sin's in trouble here. Ooh, out of ammo, out of ammunition, just trying to dump whatever he's got. The whole
Wow.
OCFA and the USP will be enough.
Unbelievable stuff. What a stop from Sin. It felt like NRG were going to get those heroics again from that lone AK, but Sin does great work with his rifle and then just pulls out the pistol, throws a dunker of a nade, and then gets the pistol headshot afterwards. Very well done. M80 looked like a different beast here on Anubis, which honestly I expected as we talked about in the pregame. This is their map right now, and NRG, despite their success, it's happened against lower tier competition, and M80's been up against the best of them in that ridiculous brawl against Fnatic, and of course playing up against Complexity and MIBR as well. Losing MIBR, but still it was a very tightly contested map. Here we have a 4th found, and NRG was a bit of an eco for them outside of the saved guns, so they should be able to buy up here. And they will. OC the only one limited, but he's very effective with that deagle.
Might just follow hot on the heels of one of his teammates, wait for him to
Yeah,
wander
to
into
fall.
an op crosshair. Ooh, speaking of op crosshairs. One's going looking. Oh, and it is going to find. Breeze didn't wander into it. It came to him. Ah! Rag!
Okay.
That was a little bit foolish. Played ahead of the smoke, and that cost him in a big way. Sin trying to make a move here to deny that bomb plant, but in so doing, he's playing ahead of his teammates and not giving them the chance to come and help out. This is big trouble for M80. Man disadvantage. There's got to be a thought in your mind that if you don't find something early on this retake, I mean, there's always the possibility of the save, and with that Molotov down, limiting 2 players, actually all 3, you'd imagine. Might just want to get out of here. This is getting very expensive. They're running out of time, they're running out of clock, but they're going to give it a look. Lake does have that kit. OC right under the lip. Does he get cleared? He does indeed, but you better get on that stick. Smoke going to go down for it. Here comes the tap. Don't want to give up this round. And that kill onto the A-main player. Slacks will keep his teammate safe. So it works out. There's no time to spare. There's no margin for error, but Slacks and Lake deliver. Save them from a catastrophe.
That's Rec. If they're online right now, he's probably giving them a high five saying, thank you so much, guys. You saved me because I made a huge mistake. And Sin tries to make up for it immediately, but it's the rest of the squad that is able to deal killing blows. Those two guys just coming through at the end, Lake, along with Slacks. And Slacks, I mean, with that op is looking so sharp right now. He had his moments on Mirage, but it's continuing here in a much bigger way on Anubis as M80's built up a 5-1 lead. Not to mention it's 5-1 on their CT side, on their weaker side. I think everyone's weaker side of Anubis, but still, this is very promising for them.
Very good.
Oh,
Ooh, the cross back over. OC says, thank you very much. Gonna take that AWP. Just give me a moment here. All my utility to get my hands on that big green. Well worth it. OC's first chance on the op this map, I believe. Not sure it's deceiving me there for a moment. Seems like they do want to finish this off on towards B, and it's a good pick right now. Only Swisher. There's no cave presence. And Swisher with that utility down, he's not going to expect it to be passed. Oh, here's the footsteps, but too late. The gun's too slow to come out, and they are in a bad spot.
yeah.
Rotation has to come far afield, and this player in towards mid. OC's going to hear it all. So now OC's getting in position to take some hot shots, but, well, the shot in the back of the head is going to be a little more unfortunate. Timing is rough.
Yeah. I don't know if any. Are they going to go back into this? I guess they can. They have the kit.
They did it last time. They've got the kit. Still not that much arrayed against them on the NRG side, but they need these kills quick, and they are going to find them. It comes down to just the one. So he needs this kill. He's got it, and Hex instead. The swing is perfect. The timing, excellent. No one gets 2 clutches last second in a row against NRG.
It felt like it was going to happen again, though, honestly. And Hex had to deliver a 3K in a very tough situation, and he gets the spray transfer on Lake and Wreck, and then finally gets the last one at the end. But NRG having to fight tooth and nail to get rounds on their T side. They finally get a second. It's so expensive, though. Only one player survives. And, well, on the other side, speaking of expensive, since these rounds have been very close, M80's also in a tough spot economically. Swisher's, oh my goodness, he is down into Canal. Holy moly. Hext, I don't know if he's aware of the fact that Swisher is so far up. This is so much map control early on in the round. I mean, we're only 25 seconds in, and then Rex setting up a crossfire with Swisher.
Hex did the rights on that one. Swisher taking that space out towards carpet. It means that they want to accelerate in towards B, but in doing so, Breeze is going to serve himself up on a silver platter. And one by one, they're just falling away. These are individual moves, and a repeat in from Slacks. Nets another. OC, what kind of damage can you find? Knife out would have been dead if that Temple player had peeked, but it'll just save him for a moment. As M80 quickly answer back.
This is a phenomenal start now, and just getting that answer so quickly is important. You see Hex has 6.8k, so he's going to go for that hero AK that we saw in Mirage from NRG. And I don't necessarily have a problem with it. OC could even invest a little bit more, but he won't because he wants that op up in the following round, so he's just going to keep his money where it is. In his back pocket. Does buy a deagle. Actually, no, it's dropped. Oh, yeah, he did buy it. It came after the clock started, so we didn't get that actual tally on the scoreboard, but it's okay. Here we go. Full on A presence here from NRG. All 5 players, I should say 4 players, huddled together. 1 holding the back lines. That's Nitro. And he's just going to get some utility set up for his teammates to charge in a flashbang more than likely. But 3 players in M80 waiting to greet them. Hex going to have to be the tip of the spear with the AK and gets absolutely nothing. It's already over.
So 7 rounds, bang on there for M80, and a lot more room to rumble here. I do love the Anubis, right? If there was a hometown map, home ground advantage for M80, it is Anubis. It's kind of where they made their name. Previous versions of the roster as well. They have looked very good on it. Timeout called by NRG. Trying to right the ship. Knowing that You can't let it slide too far on this attacking half, as you so nicely illustrated, John. If you go in with a massive deficit, you might as well think about Ancient.
Yeah, no question. I mean, NRG is actually a surprising team on Anubis. They're 50-50 in terms of their rounds won on CT and T side, so that's interesting to see at the very least. But on the other side, T rounds are so very good for M80, like 65, 63%, something along those lines, in terms of how many they won in round win distribution. It is very, very scary going up against M80 on this map once they get to their attacking side. So I don't know. This is already shaping up like, in my mind, a map-free scenario. Still a lot of Counter-Strike left to be played. And NRG, well, they got the guns this time, Mike.
They do indeed. Don't have any control to speak of early on here. Set up outside of A main. No presence in towards mid just yet, though it looks like they're going to try and work it here. Just nothing really taking a minute into the clock. Now we start to get some big control. Automatic working his way up. A risky skirmish through the smoke. But both sides are going to emerge relatively unscathed. They were wary of the smoke canal's push. As they should be, but it looks like they want to test, like, re-smoke on. Gonna make them think better of that. And they've given up all presence elsewhere on the map, so they really want to finish B here. And you can tell M80 haven't felt anything A main in a while. They're going to bring in the reinforcements. They're going to bring in the stack. You've got Swisher getting active down mid as well. This is a really good setup now for M80. And
wow.
You see the effect. Swisher drops down. He finds the flank. There's just no time. There's no chance. The bomb's stuck B main. And they're going to be forced into a save. They never had anything in this round.
No.
They never had any control.
I mean, Swisher's been so aggressive getting into canals. Yes, he only has 4 frags on the board, but the map control he's gaining is something you don't see on the scoreboard, and it's invaluable.
Even on that round, right?
Yeah.
Even in that round. He was playing super passive for the first minute, 20 seconds of the round, right? Then they realize there's no A main presence. They start to rotate the numbers off. And that's when he pushes and goes for the drop down. They just didn't really... I mean, he threw utility.
Yes.
But he was throwing the utility from camera. He wasn't really pressuring there, but that's the effect that they've had, is NRG are just very timid to take it.
It's strange how scared they're playing, honestly, and this is one thing I was crediting them for yesterday, is how effective they were at taking fights and how they weren't waiting too long and burning out the clock and going for those last second plays. And they're doing a lot of that here on Anubis against M80. I don't know if it's because they can't seem to find the answers, or, you know, the shots aren't hitting as they were on the previous map, but this is just a very quick change of gears for NRG, and not in the good way. Swisher's going to find his 5th frag, headshot onto Breeze, automatic trying to re-aggress, and he will get the trade, but still, look at the damage that's already been done to NRG by the bullets and the utility. They're in a tough spot.
Still, they're actually in position to go for a take much, or, well, they were.
Yeah.
Sin then finds that spam through, takes the B main presence out, and now life gets a lot more difficult. If they'd held on to the 4v4 in these positions, this would be a whole lot better. It still might be all right. Lake is low. He's got no utility. Sin doesn't have any smokes. Now Molotov deployed is the last bit of choke point util here. Flashbang to stall them out just a tick. Not seeing anything in mid. In towards A. When does the cavalry come in? Wreck is starting to rotate, but it might be a little too late. They've already gained some ground. Nice nade. And Lake has gone overlooked! Oh, Hex thought he checked it! He thought he checked it, they just missed the pixel!
No way!
And Lake will punish them for it!
12 HP throughout that entire engagement. And Hex, he thought, you were right, he thought he cleared it, he thought no one was there, and then he double takes. He's like, wait a second, I didn't fully clear this! And it was too late. Lake not only gets him, but he gets the other 2 as well. With such low health, Hex is probably kicking himself, or at least after he watches the demo of this map, which he will, he's going to be even more frustrated with himself, because he'll realize that if he gets that 1, it probably clears the path for his team to potentially get a 3rd round victory. Instead, they're staring down the barrel of what could be a 10-2 scoreline, and the buy-up isn't great. 3 Galils, a Tech 9, and a Mac 10. They have the mid control. It's been given to them by M80. They still have to fight to get to one of these sites.
Hey, look at how passive this setup is now. I mean, you had Slacks all
Yeah.
the way back in spawn, ready for the temple wrap. That smoke is, if anything, going to tip him off for the fact that he want to finish A. Oh my goodness, Sin. He just doesn't even need the teammates. Wreck will come in. Now Slacks is on the angle as well, and they just chew them up through the choke point. Double digits in the first half. We'll be right back. We're back in, and this could be quick. NRG struggling mightily here on Anubis, and M80 have been capitalizing every step of the way. It's been a role reversal of Mirage in epic proportions. And unless NRG show us something magical here, the stage is set for a clash on Ancient. Seems like we're heading in towards B early on, though the bomb not committed. Means it still could be anyone's. Round finished. That helps. Double aggression outside of A main. OC sliding in and a dropping down. The players who are staging up to take cave. Out in towards mid they go, trying to find that gap that's been opened towards A. But Nitro finding the one. He might not be able to deny the bomb plant, but he sure can do damage. M80 just can't look the right way in any of these fights.
Yeah, they're literally caught looking in the opposite direction pretty much every single time. And that was tough. I mean, good pistol round coming through from NRG at the very least, and they get that third. And we saw the same thing from M80 to open up their CT side with an effective pistol round. So maybe they can repeat some of that success. Just that 10 to 2 starting on your CT side, being down by that scoreline is just, I feel like that's too tall of a task on Anubis. We'll see, right? Anything can happen. But M80 have such a huge cushion. Losing pistol round, okay, it happens. You know, it's kind of a 50-50. But afterwards, once the rifles come out, there's a lot of work NRG has to do. And, I mean, with that bomb plant, you're already going to see 3 rifles, 3 Galils, a Tech 9, and a Deagle. Very slow pace this round, Mike. You got M80 leaning towards the A site. And well, they wait patiently and it pays off. They get one. OC finds a trade. Doesn't take damage to the engagement. Goes for the repeak. This could be a mistake, and it is. Slacks finds him in another repeak. Automatic wants to find that trade, and he manages to get it. 3v3. Bomb still in the control of M80, but you see NRG are slowly leaning into the A site. I don't know if they're aware of the fact that Sin is trapped in the corner here. I'm pretty sure they're not. And Sin, want to reaggress here. He just wants to see if someone's there and take that fight. He wins it. That is critical. Now there's only one player on A, one on B. They know they just need to take the fight to one of these sites, Mike.
Yeah, the problem is that they did spot the ball. Ooh, that was dink. That was dink. Timing could have been a little bit better on the pinch, but still damage done onto Hex. 2-on-2 here. 25 seconds. They've elected to commit in towards that A take. Swisher's just got to get on the scene to help out his teammate. The drop on Dean behind the cake. Not a whole lot of utility available here, so it has to be the clutch. The 1v1 now. No help for Hex, and the Tech 9 will be more than enough. 11 on the board. And NRG now in dire straits.
That was some great comms coming through from M80 as well, because they knew confirmed damage on that last player that I headshotted Hex. I got that dinked. So he's very low. Pull out the pistol and take care of business. That's exactly what Swisher does in the moment. So now M80 right back to it. The pistol round didn't mean much. And like I was saying before, it just feels so dire for NRG, regardless of winning that pistol round. And now even worse after losing the force buy that M80 pulled off. 2 CZs, 2 P2, excuse me, 2 5.7s, and a Deagle for NRG. It's not much. Sticks and stones, Mike.
Dropping that molly. Slacks behind him. They thought maybe they could catch Sin with the utility, but, well, his teammate had his back. This one is looking over. 2 very isolated CZs. Wondering if they even have enough bullets to take down all the targets they would need to. It's just like the trap that keeps on delivering.
Yeah.
Is Sin giving audio cues? Someone creeping into the angle, and Slacks is just like, thank you, yes, please, keep giving me more ecos.
19-5. Look, Slacks and Sin, we talked about before, you know, the 2 Germans are dominating the scoreboard a lot of the time, especially in these NA matchups, and, I mean, that is exactly what's happening here. What do they got? 36, maybe not that much. Is my mathing 36 frags? Yes?
Your math is
combined?
Mathing.
Okay,
Your
good.
math is mathing. That is how math works. Yes. Indeed.
It's
36
crazy.
frags, only 12 deaths combined. So there you go. Only 29 deaths on the whole team.
It's not too shabby at all.
How you take those? Automatic will take this one straight to the grave.
Yeah, this one's done, man.
And it does seem like we're going to be moving on to Ancient. Barring some OC Deagle heroics. There will be no heroics. There will be no nothing in this round. NRG felt like they were punting on that one. Get us onto Ancient, they say. And so it shall be. M80 just stuffing NRG into the locker on this map. Moving right on to the decider.
Unbelievable. Yeah, I mean, I talked about it already. I feel like this is M80's strongest map in their pool right now.
Atlanta. So,
yes,
that gets a buff for me. Still, I think this one's going to be very close indeed, and I'm excited to see how it plays out. We've seen two fairly one-sided games. Maybe Mirage didn't look as one-sided in the ultimate stat sheet, but it was, again, just NRG very much in the driver's seat. We need to see more of an even game. No blowouts.
That's usually what map 3 delivers, right? That's the idea.
Sometimes.
Sometimes, yeah.
Theoretically how a BO3 should work out.
Exactly. Well, let's see what we're going to get. M80, who have had a ton of success in the past on Ancient, used to be a map where they dominated quite significantly, and now it's been more of a struggle.
Yeah,
So
I think that was one of those where Mobs' impact was huge.
Yes.
Right? I mean, it was the
agreed.
Mobs Ancient games against G2 that pretty much got him that spot, one would think.
Mm-hmm.
So, definitely was a big piece of it. Like, maybe still adjusting into what's demanded of him on this map. We talked about it a bit in the pregame. I think it is important to reiterate that Lake has blown away the expectations for him, but it is still very early in this transition to play.
Yeah.
And so expecting there to be a lot of room for growth is important, and also understanding that sometimes growth does take time. Now, that being said, he's delivering very nicely in this matchup and has tended to do so pretty consistently for this team. So,
yeah. Maul's been
dominate.
like 3 or 4 years, right, at Challenger League level, so he had a lot of cooking to do before he got G2. Anyway, let's see what's going to happen here. Rex going to get the headshot onto OC, and then a good trade from Breeze. NRG staying in it for now. Breeze going to get overloaded. Yeah, nice work from Lake, but there is another trade that comes through, and they overlook the player over Catacombs, but he can't do anything. Automatic whiffs on the shots, and now a 3v2 advantage materializes for M80. Nitro's given away his position as well, but he's managed to make life very difficult for Lake. Unfortunately for him, he is the last one, so Lake can just dance around Pillar here and Donut. And, well, Nitro still hits a headshot on range with the dualies. Hold on a second. Could blindside Lake? No. Lake the headshot. He gets the 2K and also upgrades himself.
I feel like Lake was just cackling going through.
Yeah.
Just ring around the rosy. Riding on the merry-go-round of Donut. Either way, it is a big pistol round win on for M80. Always nice to start out strong on your T side of Ancien.
Yeah, I think something we saw yesterday from NRG was a lot of aggression here. No more of that patient play that we've seen time and time again from them here on Ancient, especially on their T side. They were extremely upfront and getting into those bomb sites quickly, especially towards B. And it worked out for them quite well, especially in the early goings of the map. But anyway, we'll see if they're going to do more of the same here. Once they get to T side, on their CT side, it was a little more passive, and we're seeing that again here.
The Audi Deagle. Deagle-matic? Deagle-matic would be a sick in-game name all on its own.
I don't know. Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Eagle-matic. Trade on to the first, but it is a 1-for-1 off the SMG. So that was the proverbial big gun in the round. But I mean, you don't really gain a whole lot for it. Hex tucked in the corner. Could catch Swisher off guard if he's a little lazy in his clears. See how much pre-fire he's been playing.
We saw Hex yesterday with the 5-7 looking like an absolute animal on both Ancient and I think it was Inferno.
Yeah, I mean, that one round to close the map was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Helps when they're blind coming through smoke, but he still did some snappy shooting. He's going to get a chance here. They're coming his way. Here comes that clear. Oh, and he does get the one. Snappy with the pistol.
Oh.
But his teammate can't quite find the same. Still damage done and a fast flank coming through cave. Breeze unexpected. He's too quick. They weren't ready for him. Not ready for him at all, and now this is big trouble on with Slack so low, but it is just the one edge of the smoke. Lake will have it.
That's a sigh of relief for M80 without question, because Slacks was really low. It was actually a very even engagement, both in terms of firepower and health in that 2v2. And it's just Lake, who I think got one before the final one there with the MAC-10, which really helped settle things in a little bit. If it's Slacks going for that first fight over into Cave, it's problematic for M80, but luckily for them, it doesn't happen. So they do convert, find the second, and NRG are onto the eco. A lot of damage done to the economy, though, for M80 by NRG in that previous round, so maybe they can do the same here with the couple of Deagles they've purchased up, and Hex boosted up here towards Long B. It is a B stack, aside from one player watching A, which is Breeze.
Oh boy. All right, into the blender. And out of the blender, exit a very highly processed NRG. They've been chopped, minced, and diced. Pureed to boot. And with them, M80 will make a delicious souffle. But sometimes you get a little pocket of flour in the souffle, and that's going to be Breeze, giving them a little bit of bitterness in one of those bites.
Yeah, still actually not too bad, obviously, for M80. Lose a couple of players for 2 rounds in a row, but that means their economy can stabilize significantly. 3-0 in their favor. Here come the guns for NRG on the other side. But, I mean, look, the good news is M80 have AKs across the board, so it's not really a bonus round that comes through because they decided to risk it and go for those rifles immediately. And obviously that's paying dividends now.
Well,
and they had 2 revives. Still, yeah. It was expensive, but still.
Yeah. It happens. It happens, but if they can deliver here, it'd be all good. Still with that big green, looking to get on the board. And he will indeed do so for the first kill of the round. And now, I mean, the temptation is going to be to try and chase in that op. Well, it's a little isolated, but Automatic's trying to give space around that smoke for his Opera to escape. That's exactly what he's done.
No.
Oh, and second kill found for it. So Automatic lights the way, and OC delivers. Beautiful bit of coordination between those two. And this round's looking like it's all said and done. And it's about damage. And a pre-fire attempt leads him astray.
Wow, that was clinical from OC, honestly. And he's one of those players that I talked about, Kevin, has his ups and downs. And yesterday was a huge up on both maps that they played. Today, I haven't really said his name too much, right? He's been quiet, but on Ancient yesterday, he was an important piece. And here we go again. It looks like he's going to get a 3K in that previous round, obviously, and maybe light the way for his team back into this map, as that 3-0 deficit could easily disappear. Timeout going to be called immediately from M80. You already talked about it. Def likes to get in their ears very quickly and very early on. And it looks like they want to go for buy up here. Okay.
Yeah, this one's mostly a financial conversation, presumably. What do we need to execute the plan into this round? What do we need to investment into utility, and what can we do, in terms of weaponry here? Swisher, the one who's going to take the biggest sacrifice to get that util up. It has been interesting to see this arc in Swisher's career, where he's taking much more of a backseat to his teammates. I mean, it started on that previous roster as well, where they highlighted Mobs as the star, and he definitely rewarded them for it. But we're seeing it continue. There was some conversation, I mean, frankly, from us, that maybe you could have seen Swisher slide in some of Mobs' roles, and that was actually something Mobs himself thought would be possible. But Swisher with the MAC-10 going to be more than enough to deliver that, though he will be traded out. Still, Lake has definitely given them some early returns on investment.
Yeah, and I think one thing that shines true throughout whatever role Swisher is taking is that players love to play with him. Like, he is a teammate that everyone wants to have in North America. He's a hard worker. He keeps things on the up and up, and keeps people upbeat as well throughout gameplay. Well, good to see him get, his teammates get some work done here. Hex can get one. Rek gets the trade, and now a 3v2. OC, can he deliver again? Misses the shot and gets taken down to 40 for it, eventually finished off by Rek. Breeze, the last one standing, and he's probably just going to go for the save, Mike.
Yeah.
And yeah, 4-1.
Really nice bit of movement there from Rek. Just dancing, hair strafing, pirouette, and looking like a spinning top to bait out that first shot from OC, and eventually he had to pull the trigger. So very nicely done here from M80. Good answer back kind of round. Rewarding the investment and keeping 3 alive is going to be so important here, right? Because then you get a little bit of extra capital going to the next. There's something moving along.
Do you feel like Swisher's being held back here, though, Mike, on M80, in terms of his true potential, in terms of his true ceiling?
I mean, in terms of his individual stats, maybe, but no,
Yeah.
I think he's being put into a good position to win, and I think that's what ultimately matters. So yeah, I mean, I think in terms of counting stats, yes, he's definitely not being put in the best position to make his own numbers high, but I think everyone on the squad is aware of that, and I think this is something that he's willfully taken on.
Absolutely. No, I agree with that opinion, honestly. If you got
I mean,
the...
It
Go
is
ahead.
funny to think about, but on this team alongside what Slacks, he's like the most veteran old player.
Yeah, that's right.
He's been the young gun for so long. We forget that he's 26. He's been around the block a couple times. He is that more veteran presence. He is that guy. He's actually the oldest player on the team, Slacks included.
That's wild to think of, honestly. The years keep on flying by, Mike.
They do, John. Don't they just? But it is one of those things that you see him as that utility man. He doesn't make a lot of mistakes in that department.
No, definitely.
So this evolution in his career is he's definitely been able to deliver on it.
I think it sets him up for future opportunities, well past this. And I mean, assuming, things go beyond M80, or he could be here forever, honestly, for the rest of his career. But if he isn't, then I think he'll have a place on many other teams in North America, and perhaps even on, tier 1 teams.
Some aggression coming into A, man. We might get a standoff here between Rec and Automatic. Two guys who love to play the periphery of the map. About to square up, and it's Rec who pulls the trigger first. Goodbye, Automatic. Now A, very much in danger. They've got Swisher pushed up in towards Cave. He's going to stay there. But in the meantime, it's pressure onto Donut. OC in trouble. That's a tag, not a frag, and he's not going to get a second opportunity. Now it all comes to Breeze. Hex gets a kill. Swisher activating on the flank.
Holy...
Blake from the front, and there's just nothing doing here.
Look, I mean, OC had that 3K, and then he's done nothing with the op in the last couple of rounds, missing some shots, and that inconsistency is rearing its ugly head back out. Timeout going to be called by NRG. 5-1 for M80. This is looking like it did yesterday for NRG when they had that hot start, and what stopped their hot start was the clutch from Infinite. Maybe they can deliver that in turn against M80 and get themselves back into this, because if they don't, this feels like it potentially could be extremely one-sided. And you already talked about it, Mike, earlier on. M80 building up those T rounds early on here is important, because now they're setting themselves up for even more success once they switch over to that defensive side. Breeze has that rifle, Mike. There's the hero rifle.
He's been good, man. I mean, we haven't really seen her on this map just yet.
No, we haven't.
He has been snappy in these playoffs so far. So there was going to be a moment. Question is on the CT side, how do you maximize that hero gun? And the answer is you get aggressive in towards A.
I don't know if that's the answer.
Everybody from M80 is here. And he will get nothing, and that gun will be completely unretrievable.
That's the problem, right? I was going to say, like, going aggressive like that, yes, it's great if you get a couple of frags, but even then, if you don't have someone with you, there's no way to recover it, and now they're just left with the pistols.
I don't mind the gamble, because ideally, they're setting up B main control. That's what a lot of teams like to do early on, is work mid
True.
main, one player, and he takes some space. As it is, we're now not expecting this round to be much. Rec finds the next. Of the flank, and from the front there is nothing, no damage. So the idea there is you maybe catch one player holding back in towards elbow, holding onto that space. You drop a rifle, you allow your teammates to come around, grab that isolator rifle. You just happen to walk into the pack of players, and that is not what you were hoping for.
No, definitely. I totally get the idea for sure, but I just feel like it's a huge risk to take with the lone rifle that you have, where it might be better to hang it back on the site and try to do damage in that regard instead of taking the aggressive route. Definitely, a valid kind of a strategy that NRG can deploy, but it just didn't work out for them at all, and they got unlucky, I guess you could say, because M80 were waiting right there. Anyway, here into round number 8 is where things are going to become really critical for NRG. They've got the guns back, the 4 M4s and the AWP. They've got some aggression coming through. Slacks gets the opener, but Hex only gets one. Slacks again with the AWP. This time on T side is doing the work. Nitro stuck in cave, just guised off by that smoke. Nade sails through, does no damage to him actually, and he gets the spam kill on Slacks. Now the retake is on in a 3v3.
It is indeed. They got some smokes as well to clear some space, but Rek's going to get aggressive.
Wow.
Goes for the full wraparound, catches automatic, trying to link up with Nitro here in towards Cave, and with Breeze on the long rotate, that should kind of be it. Nitro's just trying to get out of there. I mean, this being Ancient, you got to get pretty far afield if you want to save, and Rek will keep him from doing that. Rek happy to lay his life down on the line. It means getting those guns out of their hands, and it will just be Breeze, the lone survivor.
So again, I mean, look, Slack's getting the opener, and then he finds the trade afterwards. Once his teammate goes down on that B site, the op rings true, and he's going to get one right back in his hands, picked up off the ground by his IGL, and handed right back to him. 7-1 for M80. And we need to see more from NRG in that round. We didn't get anything. We will have Breeze on the M4, a half buy coming through, whatever that's going to yield. Nitro invests a little bit more aggressively because he's okay having an MP9 in the next round if he has to. And they're just going to charge down mid. I don't mind this. A couple of players coming through. Slack's going to be dead. Oh, if he peeked through there, it could have been curtains, but he decides to fall back, which is the right choice. Hex actually charges up towards those B double doors, gets one, and then Nitro pinches in to find Swisher. All of a sudden, there's a couple of AKs on the ground, and M80 are rerouting towards the A site.
Hold on. Hold on. Oh, let's see with that Deagle. We know we can do something. Use the juice here. Breeze fast in the fray, but he does get traded. One kill still impactful. They need to get this bomb down, and there's only so much time with these choke point util still up. They're going to get those numbers punched in. That means Slacks can focus up. Oh, it's the double temple play. That could be tough. The off finds the first. Very nicely isolated. Hex, though, able to trade closer to the angle than he would have anticipated. Lake will run that one down. From the big box here. He's just got the one. Ooh, managed to slip away. Does Nitro expect to reposition? Nitro has the kit. Smoking a stick? Smoking a stick. Does Lake expect the kit? Lake does not expect the kit. And it's going to be the defuse right under his nose. Far from clean and no survivors, but the round at least for NRG.
They squeaked that one out. And it was technically just a half buy that came through. So actually, that's a great round victory for NRG to find. It felt like things were slipping away. And I thought Slacks would even get the second one here, but just a great drive-by shot from Hex. Then Lake, I guess he didn't hear the smoke or thought that it would be played around. But the thing is, I think, like you mentioned, Mike, the number one overlook of that in that round from Lake was the fact that he didn't realize there was a kid in play. And you can't really fault him for it. It just happens sometimes. So NRG, great move by the IGL. They call a timeout off of it and say, okay, we got another important round here, guys, because our money is completely spent down to the very last penny. We need to get a follow-up to get ourselves back into this half and in this series. On the other side, still a nice little cushion for M80, as you would expect, having built up a 7-1 lead prior to that round victory from NRG. Here we go, round 10.
Okay. These are the numbers. And there's no one on A. Fast play in. They called the change-up pitch, and no one home. Automatic caught slipping. This one could be over before it begins, but Breeze! Blind firing through his smoke, catches two.
What
Nitro
the heck?
finds Rek getting a little ambitious, and the bomb's not even planted right now. That is ridiculous. Talk about a change of fortunes. And maybe thought they had this one wrapped up. They thought this thing was done. It's done. NRG says it's done. Which is not now, in case you were wondering.
I think a lot of teams might be tempted to go for the plant in this situation and rush it, but I like the idea from M80 to just put a pause on everything and wait for NRG to potentially walk into their angles. They have a full minute left to work with. Might as well just kind of see if you can get another frag and even out the numbers a little bit more in terms of manpower. Now they'll have to push out and take the initiative. Hex is waiting for it. I think he just spotted them, in fact. So he's going to throw that smoke and call to the donut players, say, guys, they're still on A. I've bottled them in. They have to go plant there.
He only saw the one, so there is at least a little bit of awareness that a player is all the way through main.
Wow.
Ooh, that's a quick one. Hang on. This is still very much an interesting round. This next kill is huge. OC has been stumped. Outside of one round, he has gotten nothing at this map. That's going to be Sin on the site, who's got the first fight. He's got the one. Next on for the next. OC catches the player looking the wrong way, and then startled, Sin goes down. So what a time for OC to find a kill. NRG, these are not easy rounds, but by hook or by crook, they are making this a little more approachable.
No, you're right. I mean, easy or not, they have to get rounds. And I mean, yes, they do get a third. OC, you're right, finally rings true for fourth frag. He's been silenced for, I think, 8 rounds in a row or something along those lines. And, well, it couldn't have come at a better time. That's a nice shot from Slack. So I honestly thought they were going to win it after Sin gets that frag onto Nitro, but OC saves the day. And then the last one will come through. Third found for NRG, but there's still enough in the tank for M80 to work with, and NRG are starting to get aggressive down mid. They send 3 players out here, but one gets caught over into lane. Automatic gets the trade on Wreck. Can he get another one? No! Lake is delivering in spades. 15 frags on the board, and Swisher is going to help his team gain an even bigger advantage. Nitro manages to get one back. It is a 3v2 now. M80 still hold the advantage here.
They do. There's OC. There's OC on the line. They can get this guy alive. That would be huge if they can get him firing. Still Lake on the other side. 15-5 to this point. A monstrous half. Nitro's trying to bottle them in. Actually, OC going out to join his captain to avoid getting caught. This is interesting. There's a smoke for Donut if they read this right. They can just avoid contending with the op at all. Smoke will go down. And OC had gone very far afield. I don't know what exactly NRG were expecting there.
No.
Let's see, Nitro on A-main. No one's looking his way right now. Since considering the possibility. Walking into the angle and dropped on down. Means it has to be the late clutch. He's already got 2 kills in this round. He needs the 4-piece. Oh! What? The falling AK shot right into the face of Nitro. Little bit of a miracle there. And this time, he's not going to wait for the defuse. Flash is on. Shots
he got it.
Hitting. OC chasing. He's gone to the sidearm for both. Burst fire.
No!
Block, and that's how he delivers an 8th round.
What? Like, you're a madman. You're a madman going on the burst fire Glock to secure it. It took 3 bursts. Can't believe he had that many opportunities, but unbelievable stuff from the young star here on
Aura.
M80.
That's aura right there.
Oh man, it absolutely is. That's what you get like from a player like him. Look at the dropping
Just
AK headshot,
the willingness
man.
to go for some
Yeah.
absolute madness plays. To try the wild thing. You do kind of love to see it. It is a very entertaining encounter. Slacks! Wasn't anticipating the second, but the trade is ably there. They went for the full stack here on the B site, but without the guns behind it, it is still a tough task. Automatic is edging. But it will be the trade into the bus. Breeze alone here on A. If they come his way with a 5-7, he's going to need some heroics. So this is their 5-7 angle. There's the peek in, and the flick around for Wreck means it's all onto one Mr. Nick Canella to try and bring this round through. Spots the first, his information given up, and this final round of the half is looking like it's bang on for M80. Damage on, he's being whittled away. He'll find the first kill. Contend with him. And Sin will find the shots through smoke to put this one to rest. 9 rounds on the board. We'll be back.
Dude, what? What is this?
We're in for the last half of this series, and NRG are very much up against the ropes. 9-3 here. And they need something, some sort of spark to light the way, because they've been few and far between in the first half. Even the rounds that they won came down to the thinnest of margins. Oh boy, look at this pile up on the smoke, flashing their way back through, and the kills are stacking up heavy for M80. They were very much prepared for what NRG was bringing to the table, and they will walk away with this pistol.
That felt like they were counter-stratting there, honestly. They were expecting that B push.
In the first half, right? They got exactly the play they were hoping for.
Yeah, exactly that. 10-3. I was going to say at the beginning of the half that they're only one short of the round total they had in the first half of map number 2, and now they've already gotten there. NRG reeling a little bit, no bomb plant, probably no investment coming through here, which means they're going to be staring down an 11-3 deficit unless something ridiculous happens here, perhaps a Glock train into B. We'll see what they decide. What a smoke to throw at the beginning of the round, right into double doors B, so that stalls out any potential aggression that could come through and allows M80 to get into position to set up a crossfire from Ramp and Cat. That is very, very nice. Look at that map control they already have towards B. There's really no chance for NRG.
Well, nice little stat pad there for Slack. Some money made as well off that MP9. Going to go a long way towards an AWP. Nobody dying here. Do they go full bonus, or we can see any upgrades?
I think full bonus is going to come through. There's no reason to really go for those upgrades at this point.
They do have a pretty tremendous cushion to play with here.
Yeah. Get to watch the slaughter again. The anti-eco.
The MP9 feels like slashing a hockey stick. You know? You're swinging that thing back and forth. You're going to find the puck somewhere on the ice.
Yeah, that's a very apt description. Hockey reference from you, Mike.
Yeah,
That's...
you know, I gotta pander to my Canadian co-caster sometimes.
I like it. Oh, Nitro doesn't like that. What? It's getting spammed through the wall. Down to 31 HP.
That.
There's that hockey stick again.
There's that hockey stick. I mean, it's sweeping across, and sometimes you don't hit the thing you anticipated. Actual hockey.
Oh no, he could die!
Oh boy. All right, hold on. Nitro hasn't seen anybody. He's almost dead. Lake could say much the same, though.
The thing is, M80's got a B lane again.
They do. But Swisher spotted out, so the first piece is down. Bit of damage up here. Those MP9s going to have an easier time of it, though the spam will find some kills. Bit by bit, this piece back is falling apart. Okay, all right, why not? Just chew them all up. All that early damage is going to be for naught. Slacks is alone.
I mean, look, the 3 MP9s coming into the round, it would have taken, you know, a bit of a fortunate turn from M80 in this round for it to go their way. It does not. NRG uses that rifle advantage to great effect.
Look at how much respect they're having in this 5v1, though. 15 seconds. They're just now moving the bomb on the site. Really being careful not to trip over a landmine here.
That's wild. I can't believe they rerouted all the way towards the A site to plant the bomb. That is very much them being scared.
Ironically, it may have even put them in the path of most danger, because if he decided to go for an elbow check, he could have caught that bomb, theoretically. But it's all good. NRG will get a chance to make something of this ancient. As we highlighted, though, there's a whole lot more that's going to need to go into that.
Oh, yes. The buy-up is coming through, most certainly from M80. Slacks could get the op. Yeah, definitely. Could drop the MP9 to Blake, get the op for himself. And there you go. That's exactly what'll happen here. M80 should have a relatively strong buy, aside from the MP9. Maybe Swisher goes for the FAMAS for more util. There it is. Still, another round where NRG are going to have to prove themselves. Deficit of 7 here.
An eyes on Slacks with that big green.
Mm-hmm.
He's the danger man. They're going to get aggressive in towards mid. It looks like no, sticking around towards Donut. A little delayed mid-aggression. Here they go, swinging in to make sure there's no space. That means they're going to be pretty confident.
Oh, Swishers.
And this is the B take. It's coming through. Flashbang is lethal. And Sin and Swisher capitalize. Terrific timing off that flash. Now they're contained. Look at the damage that's been done. Breakdown at least gives them something back the other way, but it is a really tough spot to be in. They're going to try and fully reroute.
Yeah, I think Lake really wants to peek, though, because he knows there's a player here, but he's being extremely patient. And now, Automatic's going to walk into his angle, get spammed through the wall a little bit. That'll help out. There's some team damage there, in fact, coming through. Okay. Breeze the last one. Excuse me, Breeze and OC the last one standing. Both coming from the same angle, trying to re-aggress into a position they've already lost.
But it's been given back to them. We'll boost up here, just trying to find that headshot. Here it goes. Spot
Wow.
on. And that thing looked a lot worse than it actually was. And Finn and Lake going to be able to clean this one up. It's series points on the board for M80. They're looking to shut this one down. A dominant Ancient so far. And do or die for NRG.
Yeah, lucky that Dink was through a wall because he didn't have head armor. And that was up against the M4. So it all worked for the best. But yeah, like you said, 12-4 in favor of M80. They've got 8 opportunities to close this one out. It has been more one-sided than I think we expected, given the struggles for M80 over the last little bit on this map. And NRG have had their struggles too, but I honestly felt like NRG would have a good crack at this, and so far, not great. Maybe they get back into this one with a crazy round win streak, but I just don't feel it. Especially you see Nitro down to 19 HP, and the spam has just been so good from M80 out of cave. They've got their angles really locked down. NRG kind of locked into that B site, refusing to move away towards A, and which might have been a better idea. Now you look at M80, they've got control of A main. They got a player looking into Donut. That Slacks has been so effective with the op. He could catch off OC as soon as he comes around this corner, and more chip damage coming in from the util onto NRG. They're not very healthy.
No, not at all. But they're getting a lot of space in towards mid. Look at this gap. Look at this avenue. This highway, frankly, in towards A. OC's just found the site. OC's found the site. He's got it all. Automatic is going to deliver himself into the crosshair, but...
Oh, what? No!
was not prepared for them to have worked their way through Donut. That is a big, big oversight from M80. Just somehow uber confident that there wouldn't be this presence coming through, and... Well, now this is just not an appetizing retake. I mean, you could just see them pull the plug. Swisher's wary that a flank could be coming in. It's going to be the presence. Just as he moves off the ankle, Hexed will slide around for the punish. He's going to have to go fast here. Hex is going to catch the one, OC the next two. And yeah, there's nothing doing on this. A head-scratching round for M80 there.
There has to be a timeout called there. Absolutely for M80, in my opinion. Because, look, maybe they don't call it, but still... Lake should have had comms from Slack saying, I am not watching your donut anymore. You could be very exposed from this angle. And he should have looked around the other way to at least have a peek, but he didn't get any information of the sort. So there's that timeout. As I said, they have to talk that over because that was a communication breakdown, which led to a defensive breakdown. Good job, NRG, to find that gap, though. Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, it was the one easy avenue in, and OC just walked right along it. Speaking of OC, let's talk about it, because we were highlighting him when he was struggling. He's tops of the board for NRG right now. Had a really rough first half. And so this has been quite the turnaround for the Opper.
Yeah, good to see him finally having that impact that NRG are desperately looking for from him. 4 MP9s and a 5.7, a force buy from M80 here. I guess it would have been a double eco. Yeah, double eco situation. So you're probably going to stack a site. That site will be B. And only one player left on the A site in Donut is Wreck with an MP9 holding that very cheeky angle where you can often be overlooked, but instead decides to go back towards the site proper. NRG, the way they're setting up right now, feels like it could end up being an A hit. So M80 probably don't care too much. I think if it doesn't go B, then they'll just keep these guns for the next round. If it does, well, they'll have a chance to rebuff NRG. Just a nice buffer in terms of rounds, right, for M80?
There is definitely. Automatics going along with OC this time. Like, hey, look, dude, I told you. It's just totally open. We could just walk out Donut and take it. Show them the way. They're going to catch one player here in towards mid. That's a gun upgrade. This is the change-up. Oh, Sin got the tag, and OC will eventually start bringing these kills on in. 1 HP Sin. Rat tight to the angle. That's one. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see what Rhett can do. Oh, he might just want this gun, actually.
He's trying to get it.
Where'd that rifle go? AK disappeared.
It should be right out there, I think. Next to the
Santa
body.
is trying to get as geographically far away from that bomb as he possibly can with that 1 HP.
He should be safe here.
If he's not safe here, he is safe nowhere.
Exactly. All right.
But Ancient is kind of like that.
Rick's trying to go back and find the AK.
Where'd it go?
It's gone. Into the netherworld. 6th round found for NRG. Bit of a run for them. Saved AK for M80. I think that's just going to be the lone rifle here. Everyone else going to be on the eco. Everyone being Lake, Slacks, and Swisher. Rec carries the MP9 forward. And again, another round where M80 are just going to hope something fortuitous will happen. But other than that, it'll probably be a 7th for NRG. Oh, that's quite aggressive, though, from M80, sending all the pistols down towards mid. I like it. I don't mind the idea, but Automatic's waiting for it, and Lake will immediately be punished. Sin on the other side with the AK, and Wreck the jumping MAC-10 through, MP9, excuse me, through the smoke onto Nitro. Sin can get follow-up. He does. Uh-oh, speaking of fortuitous, this is looking great.
Not like this, NRG are thinking. Not like this. The trades are there. It falls to OC. Talked about him having a bit of resurgence here, but he's got to be the whole dang tide right now. Wreck and Swisher. Swisher doesn't have armor, but OC has an AWP.
Oh, Wreck.
Were those footsteps heard?
I think so.
They were.
Yeah.
I think Wreck knows. Wreck knows. And Wreck's got the killing blow. 3 kills off the MP9 to put this one to bed. M80 advance here in their first match of the playoffs. They are in the upper bracket final.
Very similar story as to the last season, right? Where M80 immediately gets the upper bracket final, a chance to only 2 BO3s to get into that grand final and secure another spot in Pro League. This was a